My name is Patrick, but you can call me 26. And what we're going to do today is we are going to talk about SwiftData, and in particular SwiftData when we are dealing with one-to-many relationship, right? So in this case, we're building an app where we have various categories, and each category can have many items, right? So we can have one category with many items. So let's have a look at how that works. So let's come here and we can create a new category. We can say maybe we want to do a bit of gardening, and we hit add, and now we have a new section in the list called gardening, with the section heading called gardening, and we can add tasks to it. Now we can edit the name of the section by coming here, hitting edit, and then we can come here and we say this is going to be called garden, like so, and we can hit save, and then it's going to be called garden, and then we can add a task, and we can say under gardening we want to do a bit of pruning, right? So we say pruning, like so, or pruning, and we hit add task, and then you're going to come here and you find that we have pruning. Now we have an option of using a toggle to decide whether or not the pruning is completed, right? So if you hit this toggle, the pruning is going to be saved as completed, right? And you can also edit it and say maybe something like prune, right? Prune, right? So we can do that, and then we can save. And also we can add other tasks, like we can say weeding. We can add a task, and we can say weeding, like so. Weeding is not complete, so we can do that, right? So after a while, we can decide that we are done with the weeding, and we can come here and we can delete this, right? Now we have deleted it, and it's also persisted because we're saving everything to SwiftData, so everything is persisted, right? And also we could add another category. We could say cleaning, like so. This is going to be new, and then we come to cleaning, we add a task. This is going to be something like doing the dishes, and we add a task, and then we come here and we find that we have doing the dishes, and similarly we can edit it. Now after a while we could maybe do the dishes and we're done with it, and we no longer have any more cleaning to do. We could come here and we could hit delete, and this deletes the entire category, right? So we're going to do all that so that you can see how you can create various categories, which is going to be the one, and the various items under the categories, which is going to be in the many, in the one-to-many relationship. This will help you understand SwiftData a bit better. Before we get to today's business, you could have a look at my course. That is the e-commerce full stack application. And what we build is iStore. And iStore, we build the front end and the back end. And iStore does use SwiftData. We use SwiftData in persisting our cart. So whenever you close the app, we save the contents of what you want to get into a cart. And in this cart, which also has a map, you can pick the location, like so, and do that. And this is persisted using SwiftData. And also among our carts, we have favorites, right? So we have our favorites here, and you could save the favorites, and the favorites are products that you like that you would want to maybe go back and later on buy. And this also uses SwiftData to save our particular favorites, right? So we do that, and also on top of it, we figure out how we can work with the observable macro when you're dealing with SwiftData. So all these are projects that we actually implement in this application. If you'd like to see the complete project, have a look at the link in the description. If you you're going to see the 26-hour project in its entirety plus the source code. If you would like to see the first 12 hours of the project, they're available on my page on this channel, right? So have a look at that. Now let's get to the business. Now the first thing we want to do is we would like to create the models, right? So I have here files called models, and we are going to create the various models. So the first thing you want to do is import SwiftData, like so, and then after that you're going to come and create the category, and the category in question is going to be category, right? The class is going to be category, and here we're going to have model, and this is going to be the macro that is going to tell this that this is a SwiftData macro. And SwiftData always has to have an initializer, even if you put default values, right? So that's one thing you should know. So we could come here and we say var name. That's just how SwiftData rules, right? So have string, like so, and then have init, have the name, do that. That's going to be that, right? Now the next thing we need to do, we're going to come back to category in a bit, but first let's create the tasks, right? And this is going to be class, and this is going to be called task, like so. You're going to come here, this is going to be the macro. The macro in question is going to be model, like so. Then we're going to come here and we're going to have a couple of things. We're going to have var title. Title is going to be of type string, like so. Then you're going to have var is completed, is going to be a boolean. Then we're going to have var category is going to be a type of category, right? Now each task is going to be assigned to a category, but a category is going to have multiple tasks, right? So what we do here is you could do it like this. You could come and say var task is going to be task, and then maybe initialize it to be empty at first, but we want to tell it what to do in case you delete the category, right? You saw this instance where we deleted the category and all the subsequent tasks that within it went, right? So how you do that is you establish an explicit relationship, right? Come here and say relationship, right? Make the relationship clear to all parties, right? Delete the delete rule. Okay, that's a lot. We could come here and we say delete rule. And the delete rule in question is going to be .cascade, right? So this means that when you delete, right, a category, all the tasks that are within that category are similarly deleted, right? So we do that, and that's going to be essentially that, right? Now, when we do this, we don't have to actually, we can skate by not putting the task among the various stuff that we're going to initialize, right? When you put relationship here, it doesn't seem to complain, right? Now, the next thing we need to do is going to be the initializer here. Or I think it just needs an initializer, right? Init like so, and this is going to be that. The category is going to be category. And for the category, we could say that the category is going to be nil, like so, right? So now we have our models, right? And we come here and we say category, like so, right? And it stops complaining. And now we have the various models that we're going to use in building our app. Let's proceed from there. Now, the next thing we need to do is we need to create the struct. So I just cleared out the main, the entry point of our app, right? Here, I just cleared out the entry point of our app, and let's create it from scratch, right? So that I can show you what you do. So you come here and you just import SwiftData, like so. And we come here and we say, not class, this is a struct rather. This is going to be the struct, and this one is going to be called the one-to-many app, like so. And this is going to be the app. And then we have the body with the content view, like so, right? And here we need to tell it that this is the main, right? So we say at main, right? At main, like so, right? This is the entry point of our app. And now the next thing we need to do is we don't have a content view yet. Actually, let's just skate on by. We'll do that in a bit, right? So what we want to do is we would like to create our model container that is going to contain the various models that you're going to make available to our app, right? So we come here and we say let container, and container is going to be a type of model container, like so, right? So what we do is we create an initializer in it, like so, and you hit this, and then you say this is going to be on a do. In case of an error, do come here, and then you say catch, come here, right? So here we're just going to say we want the container. And what's the container? The container is going to be try, and this is going to be model container. And here, now when you're putting multiple of them, right? When you're putting more than one of them, you're going to, if you're putting them directly, let me just show you an example, right? So in this case, we have iStore and if you're putting them directly, we don't put the various containers in the initial, we don't initialize the model container here. We just put them directly, right? So when you put them directly, you come here and you say model container 4, and then you put an array of them, right? For in this case, product model and cat model, right? But we're not going to do it like that. We are going to do it, let's see, where is it? Right. Let's just minimize this, right? We're going to do it a bit differently. So what we're going to do here is going to be container, and we come here and we say 4, and this is going to be the category dot self, like so. And then you're also going to put in place the task dot self, right? Now when you do that, and then if there's an error, just come here and you say fatal error, like so, right? Then you put the error. Now you're going to make it available throughout the app. And how you do that is you just come here and you say model container, and make sure it's model container, not context, right? It can be a bit, it can be wrong, right? So model container is going to be container, right? Now we have this, we have the SwiftData values for the various models available all through our app, right? So we can get this from the environment, right? So this is now available all through our app, right? So that is done. And the next thing we would need to do is we need to come to our content view, which I also cleared out. And here in our content view, what we'd like to do is we would like to, let's import SwiftData first, right? Now we have SwiftData, right? Now the first thing we're going to do is going to be struct, and we're going to have the category header view, right? This is going to be a view like so, and then we're going to say it does need a category, right? So let's do that. And what we'd like to do is have the environment. We can go to the environment, right? And in the environment, what we want to get is the model context. So come here, say we want access to the model context, like so, and this is going to be var that. Now we have in our we have access to our model context, right, and our category. And the next thing we're going to do is going to be our state variables, right? And we have our state variable, and this is going to be var is editing, like so. This is going to be a boolean, and this is going to be false, right? Then we come here and we say state, like so, var edited name, and this is going to be that, right? So we have that. Then after that, we need a couple of functions. Func, this one is going to be called update category, and what you're going to do here is just going to be category dot name, and this one is going to be edited name, right? So we have that. Then afterwards we have is editing is going to be set to false. Then we're just going to come and say try model context dot save, right? Try, like so, right? So that's going to be update category, and that is done, right? Now the next thing is going to be we come here and let's get rid of this, right? And what we want to do is check if is editing, if we're editing, have an h stack, and in the h stack, what do you want to do? We want a text field with the category name, and the text is going to be that, right? And we don't want anything there. We just want after that, we just come here and we say button, make it very basic, right? We're not working on making it look pretty, we just want it to work, right? This is going to be save, like so, and then here we're just going to say this is going to be update category, right? So when you hit save and you change the if you're editing, this category name is going to be edited, right? So you have already seen how we do that. And then we need to come to the end of if is editing, right? Come here, put else, like so, not isl, but else, like so. Come here. What's the next thing we need to do? We need an h stack, put an h stack, like so. And then after the h stack, we're going to come here and we say this is going to be a text. And what's this going to be? It's going to be category dot name, right? And we need to make it a bit chunkier. So we say the font is going to be headline, right? You notice that when you're editing, it looks different when you're editing it versus when you're typing it out, right? So that's why we are doing this, right? So that's going to be the category name, and then we're going to put a spacer and a button at the end, right? Which is going to be edit, right? So if we can have a look here, right? See, right? That's going to be that, right? And here we just come and say the button is going to be edit, like so. And then we're going to come here and we say edited name is going to be the category name, and is editing is going to be true, right? So that's going to be that. And I think that is more or less done. So we are done with that. And the next thing we want to do is we're going to have a struct, and this struct is going to be called task row view, and this is going to be a view, right? And it's going to be a view, like so, right? And it needs access to the environment. So let's just come here. This is going to be that. Now we have that, copy it, come here, paste that, right? Then we're going to say we need a state variable. Come here, say state, like so. Var, this is going to be called task, and task is going to be a type of task, right? Okay. It's going to be a type of task, right? Then we're saying is editing, I think is editing, and edited title, right? So we need this too. We could come and copy. They work exactly the same. No need to overthink it after you've already done it. And here it should be edited title, right? Okay, that is done. And now we come and we need a couple of functions. Func is going to be called update task, like so, right? And task.title is going to be editing title, is editing false, try model context save. Perfect, right? And then afterwards, we're going to come to our body. And here we're going to say if is editing, we're going to have an h stack, and the text field is going to be task title, and that's going to be edited title. The button is going to be saved. It's going to call that. That is done, right? That is correct. Else, we're going to have an h stack, and this is where it's a bit wrong, right? So what we need here is going to be a toggle, right? And here we're just toggling to say that the function is whatever we're doing is complete, right? Is on, and this comes from, we saw how we could, in particular, how we could do that in there's a video preceding this, right? And this is where we're doing CRUD. I'm just showing you how to do simple CRUD, right? And then after that, the text is going to be, what's the text? The text is going to be task.title, like so. Then we come here, and after that, we are going to put a spacer, like so. And after the spacer, what are we going to do? We're going to do the button, like so. And we're just going to come here and we say edit, like so. And here we're going to say edited title is going to be task.title, and is editing is also going to be set to true, right? You could use either, right? Is toggle or is true, right? So that is going to be that. And for the toggle, okay, I see the problem here. We want this, then we need the task.title to be inside the toggle, right? So come here, put that there, right? Now this is everything we need, I believe, in the task row view, right? Now the category list view is going to be the main event, if you could call it that. That's going to be the category list view, right? And this is going to be a view, like so. And what we need to do is come back here, and here, instead of this, we're going to have the, let's say we have the category list view. That is done, right? Now we come back to the content view, and what we want to do is first we need the environment. So let's borrow that. Okay, copy the environment. That's done. Have the environment is done, right? Then now, in order to see all the queries, we need to come here and we just fetch them, right? For now, we're just going to fetch them. We're not going to do any fancy schmancy. We are not going to do any fancy schmancy filtering or sorting, right? So this is going to be var, and this is going to be categories, and this is just going to be an array of category, right? Need a state variable, so we need a state at, okay, not that, but at state, and this is going to be and here, instead of selected category, we could say this is going to be task category, and then another one is going to be at state. This one is going to be new category name, right? Which is going to be a string, and it's going to be that, right? Then we need to come here and say var body is going to be that, right? And then of course there's going to be a list somewhere, but let's create the functions, right? So the first function is going to be add category, like so. And here we're going to say new category is going to be that, name is going to be that, model context. Okay, here is where it goes wrong, right? We're going to say model context, and we just want to init to insert. We already saw how you can insert something. Insert, right? Insert, and here we need to insert the new category that we just created up here, right? So the suggestions are correct, and we need a var there. That's the first method we're going to call, right? The next one is going to be delete categories, right? And this is going to be func delete category, and that's going to be, okay, we're going to use some of the list methods. So you're just going to say offsets, and this is going to be the index set, right? And then we come here and we say offsets dot for each, and then we hit this, and this is going to be index in, and we come here and we say let category, okay, category to delete is just going to be categories index, and we say model.context.delete category to delete, right? And then after this, make sure to save it so that you can persist it, right? So what you do here is try. This is it, right? Try, and this is not a ternary, but you're just trying to do that, right? So that's going to be that, and then the final one function is going to be func delete task, right? And this one is going to take two things. It's going to be the category in question where the task is located, and that's going to be the category, like so. Then the offsets in the list, and this is going to be the index set, right? That's going to be that. Then we come here and we say offsets dot for each, for each, right? For each, hit that, that's going to be index in. Come here, what's the code? The code is going to be let task is going to be gotten from category.task, that's the index. Then we come here and we say model.context.delete task, right? And then afterwards, we need to save it in order to persist it, right? So we come here, do this, after this, just save it, and it's persisted. Now we have all our methods, and the first thing we want to do is going to be the navigation stack, right? Come here, say navigation stack, like so, right? And then in it, we're going to have a list. In it, we're going to have a section. In it, we're going to have something like add category, like so. Come here, do this. Okay, that's not that. Come here, do this. Then we're going to have an h tag, do this. Then afterwards, you're going to come here. This is going to be a text field, do that. Right, this is going to be category name. Text is going to be category name, like so. Button is going to be that, and that is going to be that. Okay, that's one way you could do it. Either is okay. And this button is going to be disabled dot, right? Come here, dot disabled. And what is this going to be? It's going to be new category name dot is empty, right? So if there is no name, the button doesn't work, right? So that's basically that. And okay, what's the next thing? We come here. It's going to be the after the h stack, we want to, or is it after the category, the section, right? After the section head, what we want to do is we loop through. So we say for each, and here we just want to loop through the categories, right? And for each category, we just want to come here and we say in the closure, just get the category. So category, I don't know, it's suggesting the plural. I prefer the singular. And here we're just going to have another section, and this is going to be the header in question is going to be category header view, right? Header view, like so. And the category in question, category is going to be category, right? Come here, and now we can loop through. We say for each, and what are we going to loop through? The tasks. So we say category dot tasks, like so. Come here, and this is going to be, that's going to be that, right? Next thing is going to be task row view. Come here, this is going to be task, like so. Come here, do this, come here, and the next thing to do is going to be dot on delete. And what do we want to perform? On delete, what we want to perform is on delete, we just get the indices. So come here, say in the indices in, and we come here and we call delete task. The category in question is going to be the category. Offsets are going to be the indices, right? So we do that. That's going to allow us to delete. And after this, we're going to have a button. Come here, say it's going to be button, and this button is going to be something like add task. So you have the button add task, and here we're just going to have the task category is going to be the category, right? Now after this, we're going to come here and say at the end of this list, right, after looping through every single one of them, we want to come here and we say on delete, and we want to perform delete categories, right? Delete category, delete. We call it delete. Yes, so we do that, right? Dot on delete, right? So that you can swipe it and delete it, right? Now, after that, the next thing, I think at the end of the list, still within the navigation stack, of course, we need to put a navigation title. So come here and say navigation title. This is going to be categories, maybe spell it a bit differently, but categories and, not just categories and what do we want? We want items, like so, right? And then we now come and we should create a new sheet, right? So we're going to come here and we say struct and add task view, like so, right? This is going to be a view, like so. And here we're just going to say we need the environment, right? Come copy the environment, that's what we need. And come copy, get the environment here, that is required to us. Then we have Apple requires us to have an easy way to dismiss, right? So we come here and we say this is going to be that, and this is going to be dismiss, like so. Here it's going to be var dismiss, like so. Then afterwards we're going to say let category is going to be a type of category. Then we come here and we say at state, like so. This is going to be var, and this is going to be task title, right? And this is just going to be that. This is for our module, right? So we are not putting it here. We are creating it first so that we can call it, right? That's going to be that. And then we need a function here. Let's create a function. And the function is going to be add task. We're going to come here and we're going to say, well, we could do it directly like so, right? We could say model.context. Okay, maybe let's just break it down, right? So we say let task equals new task. So we say here task, and the task title is going to be that. That's going to be the category. Then we're going to say category dot tasks dot append task, and then we're going to say try that, right? And then afterwards we're just going to dismiss it, right? So after this we're going to come here and let's jump to the definition and see the task is completed could be set to a default of false, right? Then we go back. I don't think we did that. So let's go back. And this does not conform. Okay, fine. That's pretty easy to do. And here it's going to be var body, that like so. So we do that. Then what you're going to have is going to be, let's put a navigation stack. Let's come here and we say navigation stack, like so. And here we're just going to have a form. Come here, say form. This is going to be the text field. Text field, this is going to be task.title, like so. And here we're going to say afterwards we want a button. And the button is going to be something like add task. And we just want to keep it really simple. It's just going to call the add task, like so. And then afterwards we're going to disable it. And this is going to be if is empty, like so, right? And after all this, what we're supposed to do is just say navigation title. This is going to be add or add task or new task or something of the sort, right? And then we say navigation bar items, like so, right? And here is going to be trailing button is going to be cancel and dismiss, right? You could use the toolbar also to achieve the same effect, right? And now we have this can add that. And what we need to do is we need to call it from a sheet, right? So we come here and we say sheet, right? And for the sheet, we come here and we say item. The item in question is going to be $ task category. Come here. This is going to be category in, and here we're going to say add task view. This is going to be category, right? That is more or less done. Let's run things, right? Let's make sure that everything is as it should be. So let's come here, let's go home, and let's just remove the app, delete the app so that you can start from scratch, right? Now if everything is according to plan, let's try building it. And if it builds, okay, that's good. And try and run it, right? So we try and run it and see if this will work. Okay, categories and items, right? So let's try and add a new category. Let's say we need exercise, right? We hit add, and this is exercise. We edit it, and we call it something like work out. And save. And you see the first problem is we don't clear it after this, right? After we add the category, right? So let's see. Where we add a category, right? text add. So after we add a category in our category list view, we probably or do we do it in the add category method, right? Maybe you go to the add category method, right? Jump to definition, right? So after trying the model save, right? Model concept.insert. It's not necessary we actually do this here, but what we would like to do afterwards is just say new category name is going to be set to an empty string, right? So let's stop it and start it, and then we see whether or not that is done, right? So let's come here and say what category? Let's see, yard work. I can't think of anything right now, right? Yard work, right? So it clears out, right? So for our workout, we could say, come here and we say running, and we add the task, and we come here, running can be done like so. And then there's a bit of an issue here with the edit. We want the edit to be here, right? So let's fix that. Just fixing the niggling bugs that are left, right? And no, it's here. Where is it? Where do we have edit, right? So here in our edit, that is in the task row view, right? So we come after the H stack, after is editing. This is supposed to be is editing. After is editing, we have else, we have the H stack, we have the toggle, and what we'd like to do is this is supposed to be within the H stack, right? So we should just come here, get rid of that, so that this edit is there, right? And then we have our spacer, then we have our button to edit, and then maybe add something over here, right? Like so. Stop it, restart it. Hopefully it works a bit better, right? Now you see now, okay, now the edit is here, right? So you could edit it by say jogging. Instead of running now, we're going to be jogging, and hit save, and that's going to work, right? And then we could add another task. We could say something like swimming, like so. Hit add task, and then we have swimming. We can decide to do it, we can decide to undo it. We could stop and restart and see whether everything is being persisted. And that's pretty quick. It's being persisted, and that's that. And we could decide to get rid of all the yard work by hitting this, and we see if it's being persisted by restarting, and we no longer have that. And yeah, it seems like everything is working out. We did already test that. Is there anything we have not tested? We can add a task. Let's hit cancel. Cancel is the only thing we have not tested, right? We hit cancel and it's dismissed, right? Now we have everything that we set out to do, right? Can create multiple categories, and each category can have many items. Each one category can have very many items, right? So that's a quick level overview of one-to-many relationship when you're dealing with SwiftData. Thank you for watching. Subscribe to the channel if you're new, and I will see you in the next video.